Okay. Then we have one very important concept called Veda and Vipareetha Veda. Saturn is generally good in the 3, 6, 11 houses, supposed to be there. But at the same time, when, let's say for these people, for Capricorn, Libra, and Taurus, Saturn moon in the 3, 6, and 11 houses. Taurus moon, Saturn is moving to a good house. But to give good result, no planet must be in Sagittarius, Capricorn moon sign, Gemini for Libra, and for Virgo, Taurus moon sign. So, which is exactly opposite houses, there must be no planet going. That is 12th, 9th, and 5th. If any planet, if is there, it will cause Veda. Sun will not cause Veda to Saturn. Again, exactly opposite to it, it's called Vipareetha Veda. Vipareetha Veda is generally Saturn in the 12th, 9th, 5th is bad. But if a planet is in the 3rd, 6th, and 11th from the moon sign, it can block the negative effect. So let's say for Mesha people, Saturn is in the 12th house. So if any planet is in the 3rd house, Gemini, it blocks the result. So Jupiter will be 1 year sitting down there, no? So most of the Mesha people for 1 year will not feel the Sadesati. For Cancer moon, so when Saturn moves to the moving to the 9th, it will cause a Veda. Scorpio moon's planet in Virgo, any planet in Virgo will cause Vipareetha Veda to Saturn in the 5th. For Cancer moon, any planet in Sagittarius will cause. So on and off you will have. So for Cancer moon, whenever Saturn, Sun comes to Virgo, any other planet, it will block the negative effects. Okay. So this is, there are many things I didn't want to complicate. There are Lata also you can use. Sunday I was teaching about Kantakamola. All this I can bring it. But just, this is usually in classic books. Whenever Saturn, you'll have to see if, whether Saturn in 3, 6, 11 is exactly opposite 12, 9, 5. In any planet will block the 3, 6, 11's effect. Or if it is in 12, 9, 5, no planet must be in 3, 6, 11. It's called Veda and Vipareetha Veda. Nakshatra Veda. There is one more important called Nakshatra Veda. Saturn in transit as Veda from Sun when it travels to the 9th Nakshatra and Jupiter in the 12th Nakshatra. That is from Saturn. If Sun is in the 9th Nakshatra or Jupiter is in the 12th Nakshatra, it will cause Veda. Now Jupiter will not go to the 12th Nakshatra. So Jupiter cannot cause any Veda to Saturn. So because it is only going to be, it has to, for 12th, it has to go beyond in Leo. So only Sun can cause Veda. So Saturn in Purvapatra, Veda is caused when Sun transits Aridra. And Jupiter, last part, it will be in Aslesha. Saturn in Uttarapatra, Veda is caused when Sun, which will not happen. Saturn in Revati, Vedas cause when Sun transit Pushya and Jupiter transit Uttarapalguni, which will not happen. So every time when Saturn is in Revati, Sun in Pushya, it's a Veda. It will block the good or the bad effects of Saturn. This is Nakshatra Veda. Okay. There are some more Lata, few more also given in the classics related to it. Okay. Okay. Next, very, very important, says transit Saturn over natal planets. Also applicable if the planet is in a trine to it in the D1 or also in Navamsa. So let's say if Saturn is transiting over Sun and a Saturn is a yoga karaka in your horoscope, Saturn will give progress in profession, many responsibilities, good recognition and gain from ancestral property. But Sun is a bad planet for you, 6th, 8th, 12th Lord. Or in that case, it can give problems to father, defamation problems in career, eye-related problems, and have problems with superiors. So, okay, Saturn's with moon is called Janmasani. So, if it is a good moon, if it is a 159 or Saturn is a Yoga Karaka, there is growth and there are a lot of new beginnings can happen. We saw this in Donald Trump's horoscope and we saw and our PM's horoscope we saw. But if both of them are in bad lordship, this can be one, Saturn over moon can be a very dangerous transit. Mostly I have seen health issues happening when Saturn over moon, or there is mental, unnecessary mental stress is there for people. Mars, okay, again, Mars, Saturn over Mars. If Saturn is a Yoga Karaka and in good houses, if this combination takes place, it is good for technical expertise. One has a lot of confidence, courage, one is strong. There's a lot of physical. I've seen people going to the gym. you start walking, exercising, victory in litigation, enemies, gains from lands. But at the same time, if this happens in a bad sign and Mars is a bad planet or Saturn is a bad planet, this can be a very trying conflicts, disputes, litigation, deaths, accidents, confrontation, health, and angers and problems with siblings, younger siblings. Generally, in Mercury's house, in spite of whatever the transit, it is generally supposed to be good. New learnings, gains for education purpose, for many things, it is very, very good. And communication, travel related, it is good. Unless Mercury is debilitated or in a very bad sign, generally Mercury with Saturn is very good. Mercury, Jupiter, again, mostly it is generally good. It's very good for finance, for new people have people who do not have a kid will get a kid, and profession is very good and goes on a spiritual. It is very, very good for spiritualism. But if Saturn, Jupiter is a very bad planet in a horoscope, there can be a lot of unnecessary expenditures and progeny related problems and a lot of luck being restrained. Okay, in Venus sign, unmarried people can get married, or in some cases a relation, or if it is badly placed, mostly Jupiter in over benefics. Saturn is not very, very bad, but unless it is going over 6, 8, 12 houses, and they are the 6, 8, 12 in yours, they are Nati Garga in your horoscope. And if they have 6, 8 lordship in your horoscope, or if they have the Avayogi in your horoscope, and only in that condition, these benefits can be bad. But otherwise, Saturn over benefics is generally not very. Saturn over Saturn. Okay, I have one more thing to tell. It's just not Saturn over Saturn. Saturn transit, next page I've got. Saturn from Saturn, where is Saturn moving, is very important. Okay, so Saturn, for one thing, is Saturn coming to its house. Saturn coming to its natal, called natal Saturn, can be very, very important. That particular bhava can be whatever bhava it is in your horoscope, from your lagna and the moon and what strength can become the focus of your life. For me, it just happened now on my 4th house. It was my natal Saturn. Everything related to 4th house happened. I was only last 2.5 years only focusing on my house. I changed my house. Same time, last time it came, I bought a house. So it came. So it is not just to the 4th house. Wherever, if Saturn comes to your natal position. In fact, you have Saturn coming at 60 to your natal position. And your 60th marriage, people call it 60th marriage, no? Shashtiyabdi, Shashtya Purti. It is when Saturn and Jupiter comes to its natal position. So when Sun, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter comes to your natal position, which will be at 60, there is two kinds of life. First 60, second 60. Arohana, Avarohana, it is supposed to be there. There are supposed to be, some people say that your chart changes when Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Moon changes. There is a particular lagna comes. From that lagna, your second half of your life, it depends accordingly. Many remedial measures are supposed to be done. So first Saturn, around 28 years, your first natal Saturn will come. And then at 58, 59, 60, the second Saturn will come. It can be very, very important depending on where Saturn is in your house. That particular bhava will take a very, very important change in your life. Saturn over Rahu can mean lot. Many things. Saturn is transcending that, but wherever Rahu is, you transcend, you cross over, get over from that. Or in case if it is a bad bhava and Saturn is a bad bhava, then it can be leaving something out. You have to give up something, it can be. Ketu is, again, it can make you very spiritual. Saturn over Ketu can be extremely, very, very spiritual. But at the same time, if Ketu is in a 6, 8, 12 houses or conjoined, associated with negative planets, it's mostly, I've seen Saturn with Ketu, somebody passing away. Or you experience death. If there is some close ones, relation, friends or family or something, Saturn over Ketu is always, you see, I've seen people experiencing a close one deprivation of a close one's person. So this can also be up. This is strongly felt when Saturn is over the planet. It is mildly felt when the planets are in its trine and the same planets are in Navamsa. Navamsa means keep that D1 same and in trine to it, or in the Navamsa, with now any planets in Pisces Navamsa or in Cancer or in Scorpio can affect. But in the D1 chart, it will strongly affect. Planets in trine are 50% effect, but planets exactly whichever planets you have in Pisces directly will have a strong influence on your horoscope, especially if they are not 6, 8, 12. If they are 1, 5, 9 or 3, 11, the planet there will give good results. Okay. Any doubts on this? Anybody has doubts over planets over houses? Okay. Yeah.
I have, sorry, I need to raise my hand.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I missed a minute because I had a call coming in. I don't know whether you covered it. Supposing Saturn is returning to its own natal position.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you covered that.
Yeah. Saturn is supposed to be the most important. That particular bhava is going to be the focus of your life. Whichever bhava it is in your life, that is going to be the biggest focus.
And then you have to see how that Saturn is in the natal chart, correct? How it is.
What is that bhava in your natal chart? From your lagna, from the moon, what is Saturn's lordship? And that particular bhava, which from the moon, from your lagna, and where Saturn goes, that particular bhava will be the focus of your life for the next 2.5 years.
Okay.
If that bhava is a good sign, and if Saturn is a good planet, so it's going to be very, very good for you.
So when you say Saturn is a good planet, how? Okay, so there are various ways to judge.
As long as you are not Kataka Lagna, Simha Lagna, Kalaga Simha. Only when Saturn is 6, 8, 12, it is bad. If Saturn is 1, 5, 9 large, it is very good.
It is good, correct? As an example.
Makara, Rishabha, Tula, Saturn is a very good planet.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Anybody else?
So a small doubt I wanted to clarify. If Saturn is going right now to the Pisces, it will directly affect whatever planets will be there in the Pisces in anybody's chart.
Yes.
And in the trine means in the Cancer and in the Scorpio.
In Scorpio.
If anybody has any planets, then it will be.
Yes. In case, let's say you don't have any planets in Pisces, but you have Shukra in Cancer and you have Jupiter in Scorpio.
Okay.
Saturn it is very good to have benefics in trine to Saturn. If you have malefics in trine to Saturn, it can, any planets in trine to Saturn, it can strongly influence the effect of Saturn. So one is the planets in Pisces. Next influence will be the planets in trine to Saturn. You have to judge the meaning of Saturn with the planets in Pisces and the planet in Pisces and Scorpio. Without that, you cannot judge it separately. From the lagna, from the moon, you can't judge. You have to take the trinal effects of the Rasi chart and the Namamsa chart to come to a conclusion. How is Saturn in your horoscope?
And one more doubt. In Pisces, any of Saturn's friends are there? Like any?
Yes, it's very good. It is very good. See, if Saturn meets friendly planets, Saturn meets his friends, natural friends or benefics, it is going to be very good.
And if in the same side, when they are opposite to him, it will not be good.
No. If there are malefic planets aspecting it, then it can be bad, right? Let's say Mars is aspecting, or Sun is in the 7th fluid, it is aspecting. It is not good. No. So what kind of effect Pisces has in your horoscope? That is the effect Saturn is going to give for you. See, Saturn is entering a house. So depending on the auspiciousness as inauspicious of Pisces. So where by the Lordship's placement, Jupiter's placement, what is Pisces in your horoscope from Lagna and the moon? That is going to be the effect of Saturn in your horoscope. For Saturn entering into Pisces. That is how you will have to judge. For any, not in Pisces, wherever Saturn goes, the strength of that particular bhava is what Saturn is going to give you.
Sir, is Shadashtak work in natal Saturn or transiting Saturn?
I didn't get you. What is it?
Shadashtak, 6, 8.
Yeah, I'll come. I'll tell you also. Yeah. Naturally, what I say, as much as Saturn coming to the own house is important, if Saturn is going to the 8th and 12th from its own house, wherever Saturn is placed in your house, it can also have a big thing. In case, maybe Saturn is coming to your 11th house from your moon, but Saturn is going 8 from itself from your natal Saturn. The effect will modify. You have so many aspects for Saturn, and people go on to just give results of Lagna, 12 results are from the Lagna or 12 results from the moon sign and jump to give results. See, can we go on to understand Saturn results? I can only give you the rules how to understand Saturn transits, but I can never say for divide all the people into 12 parts and say this is how Saturn's transit is going to affect. How can we say that? See, there's so many rules to judge. You can know how big the article is, how big it's. I can only give rules, but I can never judge it. I can only give a personal guidance to people, but I can't generally say put everybody into in one box and say this is how it is going to be for it. Okay, Saturn from natal Saturn. So Saturn transiting 8th and 12th from itself, it will not be auspicious. And again, it depends on where Saturn is from your Lagna and the moon. If it is 8th and 12th, it's not going to give good results. But if it is in not a negative house from your moon, it's not going to be bad. So you have to relate it with your Lagna and moon sign. And depending on the planets there. Saturn transiting 1, 9, 8 from itself, it is auspicious. Or Saturn transiting to 3, 11 from itself is very auspicious. And if it is also transiting a good house from Lagna and moon sign, it is going to be very auspicious. So you will have to modify the results depending on it, 8th and 12th or 4, 7, 10 from itself. And from the moon, you have to blend it to come to an understanding how is Saturn. So most important, only understand, is Saturn going 8th from my natal Saturn or 12th from my natal Saturn? Then you come to see where it is from my Lagna and the moon. So if it is going to a very good house from the moon sign, but it's 8th and 12th, then half your goodness is reduced. It may not give bad, but it is going to a bad house from your moon sign, and also from Saturn, it is in the 8th and 12th house. It can be really bad. So you'll have to understand it accordingly. Okay. So this is a very, very important where Saturn is going from its own self. Okay.
Sir, from itself, if it is 11th and if it is going transiting through 12th from moon, from itself
if it is 11th from itself, it is definitely not going to give you bad. So it is going. So if it is very favorable from itself. So if it is in the 12th house, it is going to give a change, a travel, a movement, or gains related, because from itself it is good. So Saturn is very, very important to judge where Saturn moves from itself. Only then you will have to take it from moon or Lagna.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Earlier slide, Saturn moves from natal Saturn to the 6th house. It is not mentioned, I think.
No. Yeah, Saturn is in the 3, 6, 10, 11. No, the 3, 6, 10, 11 are good houses from
the
Saturn.
Birth moon.
No, even from Saturn, it is good.
From Saturn also it is good.
Oh, it is good. Only 8th and 12th are bad.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, just give me just 2 minutes, huh? I'll be back. Yeah. What happened? Okay, this is Saturn's result from Tarabala. So I've already calculated also. So I think you all know about Tarabala. So whatever is your birth nakshatra, if Saturn is moving to the 1st, 3rd, 5 and 7, it lacks Tarabala. So two things you have to see. Is it going to a good house? Saturn is only good in the 3, 6, 10, 11. Rest of the house, it is bad. It is very bad in the 1, 2, 4, 8 and 12. General rules. Saturn was also, you will have to take Saturn results from the Tarabala. So Saturn moving to the 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th and at octaves, it is good. So you have to blend the Bhava and the Tarabala to get to a result. We also got, after understanding...
Sorry, we're not seeing the slide. It's the grid rather than the full slide.
One
Yes,
second.
sir.
I think the share just stopped. Okay, now you can see?
No, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's better. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think it got paused. Yeah. So this is the effect of this Nakshatra Tara. So Saturn is transiting into Purvabhadra 29 March 2025 to 28th April 2025 and 4th October 2025 to 24th January 2026. So Ashwini Makha Moola Nakshatras, Saturn is transiting Vada Tara, will cause bodily pains and enmity. So again, this is general. You have to take it from Ashwini Magha and Moola, where it goes. It is going to the 12th, it's going to the 8th, and it's going to the 4th. So that also must be taken together. But I'm only checking the Tarabala. I'm just going the effect of Tarabala. For Bharani, Pura Pulguni, and Purushada, Saturn is transiting the Daivanukula Tara, will give divine grace and spiritual involvement. For Kirtiga, Uttara Pulguni, Uttarashada, Saturn is transiting Pratyak Tara, will give obstacles and delays. For Rohini, Hasta, and Shravana, Rohini is already going to the 11th house. Hasta is going to the 7th. For Shravana, it's going to the 3rd. And Saturn is transiting a Shematara. So it's going to be very good for these three people only when Saturn is in Purvabhadra. It is not for the whole 2.5 years, I'm not saying. Only for the period I've mentioned when Saturn is only in Purvabhadra. So for Mirgasirisa, Chitra, Dhanishta, Saturn in Purvabhadra, it is transiting Vipattara. It is not good for health. For Aridra, Swadhi, and Satabisha. So you all know in Aridra means Saturn is in the 10th, in the 6th, and in the 2nd. It is in the Sampattara. So it is going to be good for prosperity and luck. For Punarvasu, Vishaga, and Purvabhadra, Saturn is transiting Trijanma, Anujanma, and Janma. So especially for Purvabhadra, this can be a very, trying transit. But Trijanma, Anujanma, it's not going to be very, very bad. This Trijanma, Anujanma, it is in 5 and 9 from its natal position. For Pushya, Anuradha, Uttarabhadra, Saturn is transiting the Paramamitra. It is Janma Sani for Uttarabhadra. But still, when it's in the 9th nakshatra form, it is going to be favorable. For Aslesha, Jeshta, Revati, Saturn is transiting the Maitra Tara. Will give friendship and good association for Revati. Even though Sade Sate is running. So these results are only when Saturn is transiting Purvabhadra. The whole thing will change when Saturn moves to Uttarabhadra Pada. The Dharabala will change. So from 20th April 2025 to 4th October 2025 and 24th Jan 2026 to 17th March 26 and 10th October 2026 to 8th February. So it keeps going on. It goes retrograde, it comes back again. So again, it goes back to Uttarabhadra. So there are three functions which comes and goes and comes, Saturn goes. So Ashwini, Magha, and Moola, it is Maitra. So it is very, I'm just going to tell you it's Maitra. I'm not going to go into the thing. Bharani, Purvashada, it is Vatatara. It is bad. Kirtiga, these are the birth nakshatra. Kirtiga, Uttarapalagana, Uttarashada, it is Daiva Anukala nakshatra. Rohini, Asta, Shravana, it is Pratik. It is obstacles. Margasira, Chitra, Dhanishta, it is Shematara. Aridra, Swadhi, Satabisha, it is Vipat. Punarvasu, Vishaga, Purvabhadra, it is Sampattara. Pushya, Anuradha, Uttarabhadra, it is Trijanma, Anujanma, Janma. So especially for Uttarabhadra Pada, it is Janma. So it is because it's also the moon sign and on the nakshatra. So naturally it will be bad, but it again depends on which sign, what is moon, what is Saturn, and where from Lagna and moon, it is all will change. Aslesha, Jeshta, Revidi, it is Paramamitra. So Revidi, though it is Janma Nakshatra, it is Paramamitra Nakshatra. So this is the only result when Saturn is in Uttarabhadra Pada. And Saturn moves to Revidi. 17 March 2026 to 21st July 2026 and 8th February 2027 to April 4, 2027. Ashwini Makha Mola, it is Paramamitra, it is good. Bharani Purushada, it is Maitra, it is very good. Kirtiga Uttarapalkani Uttarashada, it is Bhatatara, it is bad. And Rohini Hasta and Shravana, it is Devan. For Mirgasirisha, Chitra and Dhanishta. So usually Mirgasirisha, it is 11th. But when it is in Revati, it is Pratyak. So the good results are blocks. So what it is from the sign and what it is from the nakshatra, you have to blend to come to results. So it is not only the sign and it's not only the nakshatra. You have to blend it. It's very difficult for me. If I see for 12 signs and 3 nakshatras, you see the combination, how much it. So it will be 36 variations will be there. So Aridra, Swadi and Satabisha, Saturn transiting Shematara, Punarvasu, Vishaga, Purabhatra, it is transiting Vipattara. Pushya, Anuradha, Uttarabhadra, it is transiting Sampattara. Aslesha, Jeshta, Revati, it is Trijanma, Anujanma, Janma, and for Revati, it is over the birth nakshatra. So it can be very trying. Okay, so this is how you would understand the Tara Bala from your moon sign, where transiting from the Lagna, transiting from the moon sign, and transiting over the nakshatra. You will have, you will always have to see Saturn, is it moving to what Tara Bala is not for Saturn, for everything. It is very, very important to understand, but you will have to blend it with your horoscope. Okay, any doubts on this? You understand this? I think many of you understand Tara Bala, no? So, but anyway, you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, I think all of you will understand this. One more, with the nakshatra, there is one more thing called Nakshatra Angha Bala is given in the classes, where they mention when Saturn is in the Janma nakshatra, it is moving to the head. So there is mental agony and health issues. When Saturn is moving to the second, third, fourth, and fifth, it is moving through the right hand, problems in family and finance. When Saturn moves to the 6th, 7th, 8th nakshatra, it is in the left hand, success in all endeavors. When Saturn is in the 9th, 10th, and 11th, it is in the right leg, a lot of travels and gains through travels. In the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th nakshatra, it is in the left leg, there are gains. When Saturn is in the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th nakshatra, it is in the stomach. It says pleasurable pursuits. One enjoys a lot during this phase. When Saturn is in the 21, 22nd, 23rd, it is head, there is happiness. Some people, they call it Vainashaka Nakshatra and say the 20th or 22nd Nakshatra can. Some classics I have seen it, give it. 24th, 25th, it is the eye, comforts and realization of ambition. Naturally, Saturn will be in the 11th house mostly. In the 26th, 27th, it will be in the 12th. It is in the back. There is a danger and deaths. It is this, you can relate this for medical related astrology. And Saturn is nakshatra is moving through this parts of the body. So what part of the body will affect, you can take it. Generally, Saturn in the 12th is the head. In Saturn transiting over your moon sign, it is in your heart. And Saturn transit in the 2nd is a feet. That's why locally they will say when Saturn is, for all Aquarius ascendants, they say it is Padasani. Padasani means Saturn is in your feet, Pada. So this is the meaning. This is so two things. You can take the Nakshatra Angabala or you can take the Tarabala to understand the effect. So any doubts on this so far? Okay. Okay, this is another one thing. I know I'm what to say if you're this is only for Sadisat. Okay. Depending on there is a particular counting. There is a vehicle given for Saturn. Okay, so I'll explain it that way. So Saturn is in Purabhadra. So when Saturn is, if anybody is Saturn is in moon sign is Purabhadra, Saturn is riding on a donkey or an ass. It's going to be challenging. So you just go to the nakshatra behind. What is the nakshatra behind? Anybody having Satabhisha nakshatra? Satabhisha nakshatra, Saturn rides on a horse. It is victory. So next nakshatra you go. So it rides on an elephant. So it is next, it rides on a buffalo, it gives mixed results. It rides on a lion, it defeats enemies. If it rides on a fox or a jackal, it is there is some bad news, you get lemon. Saturn rides on a crow, it's a dispute. Saturn rides on a peacock, it is growth. Saturn rides on a swan, it is beneficial. So it is nothing but just from your Janma Nakshatra, what Nakshatra Saturn moves, you will have to count. If it is more, it is only not applicable for all the transit, only for people who are going through Sadesati. So it is only 9 nakshatras involved. You don't need to count if Saturn is going to the 11th house, my 5th house, 6th house. Should I find out the vehicle? No. Only for what I say, when you are running Sadesati means it is only applicable for Kumbha moon, Meena moon, Mesha moon. For those nakshatras alone, you can find out what is the vehicle Saturn, this transit, what is Saturn transits, what vehicle is moving to, you'll have to find out. Okay. So this is very important from the classics to find out what is Saturn. So this I've given the vehicle for each. For Ashwini, it is crow. For Bharani, it is fox or jackal. For Kirtika, lion. For others, you don't worry. And then for Dhanishta, it is elephant. For Satabhisha, it is horse. For Purva Bhadrapada, it is a donkey. And Uttra Bhadrapada, it is a swan. And for Revati, it is a peacock for now. Okay. For this is how the Sadesati is going to be for them. This is only for when Saturn is in Purabhadra. This rule will change when it goes to Uttra Bhadrapada, and when it goes to the whole thing will change. We'll have to find out from the Janma Nakshatra to Saturn, where Saturn is, it will change. Okay, so this is a very, very important understanding what vehicle Saturn travels. So according to the travel, the meaning changes.